Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, yay, I have sound.
Hello? Oh, yay, I have sound. Hello? Oh, yay, I have sound.
Okay, so I was really going with the last one, and thankfully, someone let me know that there was not any sound. I believe the sound is working now. Um, and just kind of waiting around to see who would like to ask a yes no question. And again, the way that it works is you ask your question, yes or no question, and I will get the response. I actually am an intuitive reader, so I don't need the cards to answer your question, yes or no. But what I'm going to do is I will just to kind of practice my craft, I'm going to go ahead and get the intuitive answer. I can also throw in the pendulum just to kind of, I just like to do that for fun. And then I have some cards here that will help to clarify. So if you, come in and join and you have a question, please feel free. I was so busy trying to work this technology or fix this technology. I forgot to do my welcome. So welcome to the Oracle Evolution. This is Misty. Welcome or welcome back. So please feel free, come on in and ask your question. And while I'm waiting for someone to come in or for someone who feels comfortable enough to ask a question, I'm going to be pulling some cards that will just basically be for to talk about just some things as a collective energy. If there is anything that we are needing to focus on for our release, there is a full moon that's coming up, I believe, on the 16th. So that's just in a couple of days. And you don't have to use the moon cycles for anything. And you don't have to wait for a moon cycle to release anything. But a lot of people use that energy to just kind of really help assist. And what I'm just going to look and see, like, if there's anything as a collective that we do need to focus on so that we can release that energy. Now, I don't know if it's going to pop out this time because remember, time and energy is fluid. So that could have just been in the moment. But what popped out before, it had to do with politics. And I talked a little bit about just releasing things that did not really that we really don't have any control over. So, and it really kind of made for, if this is for someone who watches this later on, it really made me think of something that had to do with work. And so, if you are currently in a situation where you're at work and you're not really happy and you just have, like you're starting to feel frustrated with just like those office politics or something like that, you're being called to just release that energy to focus in on things that you can control because you want to keep your energy up. You want to keep that energy, your energy positive and high. You don't want to be bogged down with things that you really don't have any control over at this particular time. So you're just being asked to just kind of sit back and observe some things because there might be some things, honestly, in the way that you normally react. You might observe something to show, okay, well, you know what? This time I'm going to try to react in this way so that I can get a different result. And so, just kind of work on releasing that energy as it relates to whatever it is, whether it's office politics, whether it has to do with, I don't know, maybe, you and someone in your family doesn't agree on politics. Just let it go. Like, we don't have control over other people. And then there are some unspoken rules that, that they were there before us. And it doesn't mean that you can't assist in changing things, but you can't go in like guns blazing to change things and think that people are just going to kind of go and bend to your will. So you have to observe, sit back, observe more, and see what you can do, just to kind of get through that or whatever you need to do. So what else as a collective do we need to focus on as far as releasing for this upcoming cycle? Is there anything that we need to release? And really, I'm thinking about, is there anything that we need to, like, if you set some intentions for the last new moon, is there something in general that you would need to basically release to make sure that whatever your intentions were, whatever it is that you're working on manifesting, what is it that you need to release to ensure that it is successful, that you really get that manifestation much quicker. So let's look and see what if anything we need to release. And I'm just kind of at my laptop. So what do we need to release? This reminds me of another thing, before there were a lot of cards just kind of trying to come out at one time. And it really felt like some kind of chaotic energy. And I don't say chaos as in it's a bad thing, but chaos as far as like just an energy that comes in to shake things up, right? A lot of the times we're taught that chaos is bad, but I don't really always see it that way. It doesn't feel good. A lot of the times we don't react to it in a necessarily positive way. But sometimes if we kind of sit back and we observe, watch a little bit more before we start reacting, you might see that some of that chaos is actually there for our benefit. And if we just kind of sit back, observe, go with the flow, it's going to be something that is going to pivot us into another level, or, it's going to help us really get to wherever it is that we are trying to get to or wherever we're meant to be. It's going to help us along our path. Okay. Okay, and so what popped out, I'm going to go ahead and take it, but there were 3 cards that popped out, okay? The first one is Innocence, okay? The second card that popped out was Inner Voice. And then the last one is Dream, okay? And what I'm actually getting from this energy is not that you need to release your, like just let go of being innocent, like let go of your, some people might, I don't know, think kind of like your dreams or whatever of your youth. But I would actually say your inner voice, like it feels like you've been hearing or, feeling, because it doesn't have to be something that you just physically hear. It could just be something that's more of a feeling. And that feeling or that voice is your inner voice. And it's telling you that there is something that you are holding in, that maybe you feel like it's something that is like childish. It's something that, maybe like from your youth, it was like a dream that you had. And what you're being called to do is, what I'm feeling is like you're being called to release it into the world. So don't hold it all into yourself. This is what I'm feeling is that this is by you releasing this dream, this vision that you have that is from your youth or from your childhood, something that maybe you feel like you had to give up on. Due to the politics of the world, even like okay, let go of those foolish dreams, those childish dreams. You're being called to actually bring them back in, okay, to bring those dreams back in, and to actually it's going to be something rather than just kind of sitting around, because at the bottom there's mind. And what I'm feeling is like rather than just keeping it held in, and you're kind of thinking like, oh, woulda, coulda, shoulda, I wish that I had, if I could go back in time, I would do X, Y, and Z. You're being called to, at the top of this deck is Fool. You're being called to take a risk. You're being called to actually take a leap, release whatever it is. Like if you feel like they're, back to the card that I was saying that, was pulled out in the other video where, no one could hear, but rather than just, hanging on to whatever it was that, that you were told, like, I don't know, like once you grow up, you have to do grown up things, right? No. If you're trying to be happy and successful, have just a good life, you still have to. I mean, I feel like we still are supposed to use those creative gifts that we were given, that we have known about since our youth, since our childhood, when we were innocent and we were being taught that we could be whatever it is that we want to be. We could do whatever it is that we want to do. And you know what? You have to continue to believe in that, believe in whatever dream that you had, and take a risk and move forward with that. Okay, let go of whatever negative story or narrative people may have put in your head, in the past, or whatever. Okay, so is there anything else? What else do we need to release? Ooh. Okay. So what came out is actually, it says turning in. And it wasn't completely in reverse, but it was really flipping to where it was turning into the reverse. Okay. And so what I get from this, like you may not be able to see it, but I'm just going to keep it upright. But I'm looking at all of these, like, they just kind of look like spirits, or whatever in the background, and I really just take that as, because I get like a negative vibe from it, and so I'm going to just say negative voices. um And you're being called to spend more of your time turning in, meditating, quieting your mind. Okay. Don't allow those voices, those negative voices, whatever they are, do not allow them to take over your thoughts, to occupy space in your mind. Now, we're human. And so there are going to be times where we think negative thoughts, or we feel negative feelings, but that's not something that we can sit in. That's not an energy that you want to sit in for really hardly any amount of time. And so what I would say is, when you start to feel kind of like that, those like you're hearing the negative voices, that's maybe it's saying, like, no, you can't live your childhood dream, no, that's dumb. Like, maybe you're hearing something that's just kind of yammering away, making you focus on the negative of what's going on. What I'm getting is, the more that you turn in, the more that you meditate, the more you're going to release that negativity. And they're just going to kind of go, they're going to dwindle away. Like, that's a part of, just our mind, if you want to think about monkey mind. But just continue to just ignore, like, release whatever that negative narrative is, whatever the negative voices are, just release them, just let them go. Okay, release it. Okay, anything else? What do we need to What do we need to release? What do we need to release? And again, this is just like, it may not, if it doesn't resonate for you, it may not necessarily be your message, because this is just like something that is collective. But the next one that we have is harmony. Harmony. And what I'm being kind of called to is just, I'm looking at just like how the impact that that is having on this person's heart and mind. It's just like a piece of, the heart and the mind. And that really just goes back to, letting go of the need to control something outside of yourself. What you have control over is what you have going on in your mind. Because remember, we just talked about when you turn in and you can alleviate those negative voices, oh, you're not going to be successful. You can just counteract that with yes, I am, and just continue to, or just continue to ignore those things and they'll just kind of go away. But you have control over that. No one else can quiet your mind. Your heart, just whatever it is that you have, like your feelings. When I'm saying heart in this case, I'm just really kind of feeling like emotions or feelings there. And reactions is what I'm kind of what comes to mind is how you're reacting, how you're showing how you feel towards what people are saying or doing. That's something that you have control over. And so when you are aligning both your heart and your mind, um and releasing that kind of control that you're feeling like you need to have over people, places, and things, that's where you come into harmony. But you have to be able to just kind of go with the flow, let go again, just still let go of control. And when you do that, what we have at the bottom is breakthrough. So you're clearing out that mind. You're also making sure that you're staying grounded and you are maintaining a stable, just kind of heart chakra where you're not getting overly emotional about things. That's where you will start to have your breakthroughs, and that's where harmony comes in. And at the top, what you may not see is that is where the changes really start to take place. So for whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, you have to make sure that you're going with the flow, that your heart and your mind are aligned. Another thing that I'm hearing for that is, just making sure that what you, in your mind, what you're saying it is that you want to manifest, that really is what your heart and soul also are wanting. It's what your heart and soul also want. Because sometimes, like if going back to politics, and I just can't let that one go from that previous stream that we weren't being heard, but that politics, like, because if you are stuck in wearing that mask and still being stuck in playing politics, and you're wanting to have save face and you're wanting to kind of go with the in crowd, and you feel like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be asking for these particular things to manifest, but it's not really aligned to what your heart and what your soul want, then that's not going to manifest. It's not going to come to pass. Okay. So yeah. Anything else? Anything else? Okay, just it goes back. There's playfulness, so that kind of goes back to just the card of innocence, and it is right here, just releasing what I'm feeling is like just release your inner child, release that old playfulness that you had where, it didn't really take us much when we were children to be happy. Like we didn't need a lot of things to be happy. And we're being called to go back towards that energy. Let go of that, what do they call it? Adulting. Let go of that energy and go back to just your playfulness, being happy, singing and dancing in the, that's what I'm hearing. I'm singing in the rain. Go back to that energy where you're singing and you're dancing in the rain and you're jumping in, I'm hearing Peppa Pig, like, jumping in those the muddy puddles, like, just, doing those things. So, okay. And it might, you might look weird to other people, or you might feel weird, like, maybe people are judging you, like you might feel like an outsider because, maybe everyone else is kind of stuck in their adult mode and they're looking like, and they're, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be all frowned up and, oh, how's your day? Oh, I'm making it. Or, oh, thank goodness it's Friday, because, which means that you're not really enjoying any other day. And so a lot of the times when you're the person who, you're happy every day, like you can, like you're just in that child energy, like you're happy every day, and you might be like an outsider to other people, and that's okay. So just keep going. It's actually going to be something that is in your best interest, because again, the only person that you have control over is you. You can't control other people's happiness. Like, they're going to have to jump in those muddy puddles themselves. Like, they're going to have to release their inner child, and that's on them. Okay, so let's look at another one. Jeez, that one fell on the floor. Let me get it. Okay, so this one is abundance. Abundance. And I'm just like looking at this card. What I'm getting is not releasing your abundance, because abundance, remember, is your birthright. But what I'm getting is, just by looking at this person's face, it looks kind of greedy to me, in this particular instance. And he's just like sitting on stuff. He's sitting on a lot of things. And so I would say, releasing, like, if you have things just to have them, if you are just holding on to things because it makes you feel, I don't know, it's like a security blanket or something like that, you're being called to release your abundance of just extra stuff. Release the things that you're not using. Release the things that, like, you don't need them anymore. Just let them go, because the only way that you're going to have things to come into your life, the things that you really want, the things that you're trying to manifest, is by making room. You have to make room for those new things to come in. Okay. So I'm going to do one more. What do we need to release? Oh, that's not too loud. It's still going with, it says going with the flow. And what I'm being drawn to in this picture is just like all of the waves, right? And again, mind is at the bottom. So what I'm getting is, let go. You have to release. Oh, what is that word that I'm thinking of? It's like the struggle. Like, you have to, like, whatever this struggle is, it's in your head. There is no struggle. At the top is guidance, because that's what you don't see. There is no struggle, you guys. That is completely in your head. What there is there's a destination that you have. There's a gift that's waiting for you. and you're being guided to it. But you have to go with the flow. You have to let go of, like, if you are used to struggling, you're used to being in the struggle, you're used to going against the grain, against the current. Like, you have to release that energy. You're being called to release that energy and to just go with the flow. Just relax, just trust, and just know. I'm hearing set it and forget it. That's what I'm hearing. Set it and forget it. If anybody remembers that. But that is something, basically, like, you've set that manifestation, you've set that intention, you've let it out into the world, and you just have to know that it's yours, that you're being guided to it, that it's coming, or that you're going towards it, and you just have to set it and forget it. Because, see, you can't see it, but, like, he's going with the flow and he's going towards, you can't tell, because you can't see the cards. I wish you could, the way that I have to be on the laptop for the live. But this person is actually headed towards this abundance. This person is going towards the playfulness. This person is headed towards, like, in this stream, towards the harmony, towards, like, inner peace. And it's actually funny because the person is going back. So, and at the end of that road, or, whatever, it's like they're going back to their innocence, going back to, it's like you're going back towards your youth, back towards the dreams that you've always had. They're there. Like, those dreams didn't disappear. They're still there. So anyways, I do apologize for the confusion. I know that the audio was not working and I restarted the video. So I'm going to actually set up another yes, no reading. I'll just set it up for probably tonight. I'm either going to set one for tonight or tomorrow. And especially if you would like to come back, for the people that did join in the previous one, but you just couldn't hear me, so that you can ask a question. And it's just a free yes, no question that you can ask. Okay. But in the meantime, like, hey, things didn't work out the way that I was planning for them to work out. But of course, going back to, hey, we have to go with the flow, right? I could struggle and be upset with the technology, or just, I use that as an opportunity to talk about, what as a collective we can release so that we can actually manifest whatever it is that we're working on faster. What is it that we need to release? So, that the intentions that we've set, that so that we can be successful in reaching them. So, I had to veer off and, like, just remain calm, or, as calm as I could. Not happy about it, but hey, things happen, right? And so the only thing that I could focus on was what I could control. So just kind of keep those things in mind. Whatever it is that you are working on, they're coming. But you do have to do the work. You do have to release some things. And whichever one of those things resonated for you, just kind of take those and just release them. Go with it. So anyways, that's going to be the end of this. If you just make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, because I'm going to go ahead and post it anyway. If there was something that you were able to take out of this, then please be sure to hit that thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you loved it. And you know what? Even if you didn't, this is Misty with the Oracle Evolution. I love you so much. I hope to see you in the next live, and have a fantabulous day. Bye.